Alright, welcome to our action-packed sequel to the Dead by Daylight mobile adventures. Yeah, this match is me playing with Bok95, which is one of the people on my friends list. They don't log on that much, so whenever I see them online, I send them a request to play with them, because they're a nice person to be on a team with. So, right here I'm doing something a little different than I usually do, which is there's Bok right there. I don't normally go to the generator that's right next to where I spawned. So the killer, who is Clown, just hit Bok and stopped chasing this other guy that's following behind me. But yeah, I don't usually go to the generator that spawns right next to me. So this was already me doing something a little bit different than my typical tactics. I'm just not that good with this map. It's hard to really have much of what I like in terms of when you're chased by someone. So I started doing this generator, which is, by the way, this is probably the most difficult generator on this particular map because it's kind of right in the middle of it, and this is a location where there's a hook, so sometimes a killer will knock somebody down, and then they'll bring that person in there while you're doing the generator, so then you have to run to avoid the same fate as your teammate. No, I don't usually like having to, and Bok just got knocked down. I don't usually like having 2 or 3 people on one generator, but this is one of the few times where it makes sense to me to finish it up very quickly, or quicker than you would do it by yourself. This person comes to help me. Both of them come to help me. And I decided to go save Bok because my policy is that if I can save someone, I usually do, but especially if it's a person on my friend list. Because I kind of, in a way, feel a little bit responsible in the sense that they don't have to play with me, you know, if they don't want to. And so Clown has just seen me. Yeah, I was trying to be stealthy. That always never works. So I make a mistake of going on the other side. He moves over there too quickly for me to avoid getting hit. But it doesn't matter as long as I'm able to save Bok, which I am. You know, sacrifice myself. The Bok can get away. So this is me trying to get a little bit away from him because he's still preoccupied with getting these other people that are not knocked down. The issue with doing this is that it makes it harder for a teammate to come and heal me, because I'm not really allowing myself to recover on my own. So that's why this person goes in front of me. They look to see how well recovered I am, and then they change their mind because of how little I've done of it. So I'm now trying to do a little bit more. So this other person gets knocked down. Bok tries to resuscitate me, but it's not enough time. And I usually don't like it when people that are, see she gets grabbed. I don't like it when people are injured and try to save somebody, because usually you end up getting sacrificed yourself as well. So now she's been put back on the hook. So this match is going not necessarily terribly, but not good either. We only have 2 more generators to do, but we have 1 person on the hook. There's actually 2 people I got put on right as Bok is taken off. We have 1 person on the hook, 2 people injured. One of us has been hooked twice, so if Bok gets put on the hook again, that's it for her. And now everyone that's on the hook is injured, so we're all in the 1 hit, it's over state. So Bok comes to rescue me. The Cheryl twins. And I start getting chased by Clown. This is actually a tactic I like to use too, where if there's someone who just got removed from the hook, I'll go after the person who was taken off the hook. So that person right there, that Claudette tries to save me with the flashlight. I call that thing, man. So many people love playing this. I didn't get that good of a view on that person. So now I'm being face camped. If this was a normal match where I wasn't playing with anyone I know, I would just let the killer get me. But because I do want to see Bok win, I give them time. Like, they could use this time to do a generator. She used the time to heal herself. And this is what caused me to think the killer is AFK or just away from his phone, because he doesn't chase after us, he just stands in that same spot. It's really weird. So they start trying to heal me. And this is part of what I said about how a lot of times we lose because someone does something ridiculous or not smart. Instead of having two people heal one person and then another person just stands there, that fourth person should try to do a generator. I really hate it when people do that, and to the credit of Bok Bok, they were actually healing someone, but that other person that's playing as Dwight, they just stood there. So I go to do a generator because that's what I always like to do, you know, because if you don't do those, it doesn't progress the match. And this person gets knocked down while I'm going over here, which makes me think I'm safe as far as I have enough time to do this because the killer is all the way over there. But I did run, so I left scratch marks, which will lead to my downfall. I don't know, it's just really difficult to, and there's Bok Bok joining me, but it's very difficult to do this stuff and not be irritated by some of the other players, because while you might put yourself at risk when you do a generator, especially if the killer is, you know, not too terribly far away, if you don't do these things, you're not going to win the match. So it's a risk worth taking. So me and Bok Bok finished the generator. Presumably she's going to rescue the person that was just pulling the hook. I run in the same direction, which turns out to be something of a mistake because, as you can see, my heart is beating, so Clown is somewhere near here. But I assume, because I've seen this happen in other matches, a killer's somewhere else, and there's Clown. I'm trying to see if I can use this. So he doesn't strike me immediately. I'm able to get a little bit away. He come right behind me. One slash. I tried to do a little duck move. It didn't work out too well. Yeah, these chases, I always, and right there, I tried to, the mistake I made is that sometimes when a killer chases me, I push back to avoid their incoming shot, which has worked a couple of times. And the mistake I make is moving too quickly while he's still in the doorway, so I can't go back inside. So that's the end of me. Now, I would show you the rest of this match, but when I was recording it, Dead by Daylight Mobile has this really weird thing where sometimes when you're spectating, it just cuts off the other people's cameras so you can't see how the rest of it goes. So I have incomplete footage of that, so I'm just going to put in this other match, which was the match right after. Now, when I see the top left screen, I instantly know who the killer is, Freddy. And I could make an entire series of videos showing different Freddys killing me and my teammates. He is one of the killers, along with Pig and Spirit, that I dread going against the most. So I just concede automatically I'm probably going to die in this match too. And I'll probably just use my efforts to support Bok Bok, because like I said, when someone's on my friends list, I try to be more considerate toward them than, you know, randoms. But my heart was beating, so I know Freddy's nearby, but I don't know where he is. So that's why I'm in this crouching position, you know, trying to be a ninja. And again, heart is still beating. Remember what happened with Pig during the first video, right? There's the killer, accidentally stumbled into him. By some miracle, I'm able to dodge that move he just threw. And I start to run. I put the pallet down because I'm instantly assuming that he's running after me and thus gaining momentum and catching up. But I notice, oh, he's no longer running behind me, so maybe I'm safe. He went to go chase somebody else, and then there he is over there. He was the reason he didn't follow me is he was teleporting. Now right here, you just had 2 generators finished. One presumably by Bok Bok. Freddy sees me, I put the pallet down, I start to run again. Again, this is assuming I'm probably going to die in this match anyway, so it's just, I'm still going to make an effort, you know, to not get killed, which I always do, but just more so than usual. And the really interesting thing about this Freddy, and you're going to see it right here, is that apparently he doesn't believe in chases. Like every time I start to run, instead of following behind me like I've seen a lot of other Freddys do, he just teleports to another generator, which is not a bad strategy because the more of those that we do, the lesser places we're going to be able to do those and not be able to avoid them. So there is some merit to that strategy. It's just most of the other Freddys I've played against, when they see you, that's it. They follow you for the rest of the game. So I start to do this generator. I'm looking both ways because I know how his powers work. I'm just expecting him to transport through the generator and scare me. I remember the first time I played against the Freddy, that really did shock me. But yeah, looking both ways. Trying to see how many of them are in the dream world. Yeah, this is always the most tense part of the game because when you have someone who can teleport to any generator just instantly, there's a good chance he could just show up. And I always hate it when I have a generator mostly done like it is now, and then the killer comes like, oh, so close, because that has happened multiple times. Where it's almost there, and then here comes the killer. So yeah, Bokbok's been injured. This other person's about to enter the dream world as well. And now they're in it. But again, at least, you know, we're not doing poorly. No one's been pulling the hook yet. And then Bokbok gets knocked down. And now we only have one more generator to do. So this is going remarkably well for a match against what I consider to be one of the hardest killers to go against in the game. Now, if it had been anybody else that got captured, I would have just let them sit there and, you know, roast on that hook. But because it's one of the people on my friends list, I have to go rescue her. So I try to do my ninja thing again a little bit, but first I want to make sure I get out of the dream world, which doesn't take that long. Really, the mission here is just to make sure that we get Bokbok off the hook quick enough to where she doesn't enter the second phase of the hooking process. Because when that happens, if she gets knocked down again, Freddy sticks her back on there and then she's dead. So I see Freddy over there, ignore him, take a hit from my teammate, because that's what you should do. Now, I continue to run expecting that he's going to shift to me. Instead, he follows Bokbok. And I don't have a med kit, so I can't heal myself. So when she gets knocked down again, like she just did right now, I can't rescue her without risk of going over there, getting hit once, and then now he has two captives being added to his hostage collection. But I said, you know, I'm not useless, so I'll just go and do a generator. Like, if I can't rescue somebody because I'm injured, I'll just do a generator. So I'm being healed by this person. And I have to say, this is one of the matches, from what I've recorded, that I've noticed has the least amount of interactions between me and my teammates. Me and my teammates are almost completely not interacting this match, which is a stark contrast to the one with Clown that I showed earlier. It's almost like we're all playing a separate game that's helping each other. We're doing generators and being spread far apart. But at the same time, it's also kind of worrisome because you don't know what's happening to other people. So yeah, when I go over there, I don't know if he saw me, but I think I might have, even though I didn't save Bokbok directly, provided a decent distraction because he turns to me and then this other person's able to get her off the hook. So right there, I make the mistake of stepping into that portal to let him know that I'm at that generator. And I really didn't see it. And I've seen some Freddys who actually will put somebody on a hook and then they'll put two of those little puddles down there to let them know, hey, this person is over there trying to do something. So I start to run. I go back to the generator because it looks like he's not there. Now you see Bok Bok far off in the distance. She is healing herself, which is very smart. Like any killer that has to take 2 hits to knock you down, you should always heal yourself whenever you can against them, because it makes it harder for them to eventually actually get you on the ground. So the person that saved Bok Bok earlier is now down. But we're going to finish this generator so we can get out of here. Exits are powered. About to have this happy ending. And look, I should also mention, I'm not a Freddy player. I've never played as him. But I know that apparently sometimes when you try to exit, and I make sure I don't go over that pallet because I don't want to notify him that I'm next to the thing to escape the dream world. But sometimes you play against him. From what I've seen, if you don't leave the dream world before you exit, then you can't leave the match. So that's why I go over there to make sure. So Bok Bok was able to open the door without any interruption from Freddy. And so I wake her up. Now I'm thinking, all right, we're just going to leave. But I guess she still feels kind of sympathetic toward that person that saved her. So she signals for us to go and rescue this person. Normally, I wouldn't do it if I was by myself, but because it's 2 people, I feel a little bit more confident. I like how that person I was playing as Meg just, like, whatever, I did my part, I'm out. So yeah, Freddy tries to slash Bok Bok, misses twice. And so we start getting closer, and I'm still kind of worried because some killers I've seen have the ability to down you in 1 hit during the last phase of the game. So now the person's been rescued. Anything happens to them after this, not my problem. I'm entirely focused on exiting. I don't see Freddy behind me, so I feel kind of safe, but you know, I still don't want to hedge my bets because you just get tired of losing after a while, and it's so rare to win against a Freddy that it's nice to just kind of exit. So I go out of there. The biggest reason for me withdrawing, and I see her right behind me, the biggest reason for me withdrawing is because I was worried if I entered the dream world again, I would be stuck there. So to show you what happens afterward, he heals her. I don't know where Freddy went. Like, he gave them a lot of time to just not do this, and then she's able to exit right after that. So I hope you enjoyed the second installment. I'll probably do a part 3 as well.